What is going on, people? It's Friday night, 10 o'clock. Well, 10:09, but if you care about that, you got bigger problems than watching this show. Uh, anyway, it's Collective Gamescast, episode 20. It's me. It's Chris. We're hanging out.
What's up?
See? Achievement unlocked. Said hello. You get one gamer score.
Just one?
Or it could just be a Steam achievement and not matter at all. I mean,
Hey,
whatever.
those Steve achievements, they look nice.
Hey, they're there. No, I've never met anybody who's like, dude, I'm obsessed with Steam achievements. Like,
They try to get people to like do other things with the community in there, like the badges and the trading cards, and it's like, no. I just want to use you guys to buy the games and organize them. Kind of like how iTunes, if you never bought iTunes music, like you just wanted them to organize it for you. Like that's all Steam is there for. That nice, simple place. Yeah.
Okay. I would agree with most of that, yeah.
No one cares about achievements.
It doesn't seem like it on Steam. Of course, Nintendo doesn't have them at all, so, I mean, you know.
I want to know, like, what is their percentage of players who are like actually working towards getting the achievements on Steam? Like, these are the people who have, like, there's a percentage of people who actually complete games, which I find is probably really small on Steam, probably smaller than consoles.
Well, there's a lot of data that says people don't finish games anymore because they're too big, so.
That would be me.
Yeah, I'm kind
In
of
that category.
going the opposite way. I'm kind of finishing stuff more and playing less.
Ah,
Yeah. I don't know, but that's me.
so like, complete the game, complete the story, and I'm like, all right, moving on.
I think achievements are part of it because it's like I beat it, and it's like, well, can I get the achievements? Are they doable? Are they a pain in the ass? You know?
The way I feel is if I want to, I can always go back. Like, it's not like I rented a game or anything. It's there when I decide I want to go back.
Well, I don't know. I'm just thinking because the last two big games I played, and the third game that I finished that I'll get to in a minute. You think Fallout 4, 100%ed that. Not the game, but the achievements. I mean,
Yeah.
100%ing, it's kind of pointless. There's no reason to do it unless you want to see it. But it's very rinse and repeat. Metal Gear, that achievement list is beefy. Doable, but it requires a large time investment that I did not. Actually, would have probably continued with had Fallout not released. So, yeah. So,
That makes sense. Yeah, you're kind of going down a weird spiral with Metal Gear. I remember that.
yeah. Hey, I still got like 8 S ranks left.
Crazy, man. But it's true, though. Once you started that story, it just kept going. It just kept rolling. Like, once you got going on that story, you was like, I don't want to stop this. I got to continue. What's happening next?
Yeah, well, it's tough. Here's a tough one, right? Because I'm in the middle of an S rank run when Fallout drops. So then I finish Fallout. And I'm like, all right, back to Metal Gear. Let's finish these S ranks. Nope. Nope. That is not the way you want to try to jump back into that game. Not when you left like 8 of the hard S ranks for the last ones, you know? So, yeah. So then it was like, okay, well, let's do side ops. And then it's like, okay, you're 75% done, but there's still a million to do. So, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I've stopped trying to do that. Going for the achievements.
and the third game, and I may as well just bring it up now. Oh, God, it's only 10 o'clock and I'm yawning.
Yeah, I feel you.
The third game I finished recently, Life is Strange.
Oh, yeah, you've been talking about that a lot.
Yeah, and I did not get all the achievements in that, and they're kind of unique, but that game felt like it would have been wrong to, like, follow a guide or be stopping to look up how to get them. So it would have tainted the experience for me. So
okay.
Yeah. So I decided not to go after them. They're all just photos. Like there's just optional photos in every chapter.
I gotta give this a try. It's on sale, all episodes for like $15.
Oh man, I keep telling you every week to play it. It's so good. It's just it's a really cool story, and it feels fresh because like after playing a bunch of Telltale games, like playing something that kind of does it differently is just so much more interesting.
I bet Telltale's getting kind of stale.
Very stale.
Yeah, I'm on.
Very formulaic.
I was playing the Game of Thrones one this week, and it's I think I'm on episode 5 now. Like during episode 4, I'd stopped multiple times, which I haven't done. Like if I play an episode, I play all the way through, which is like maybe an hour and a half of playtime. But with these, like it just kept becoming monotonous, and like you knew, and maybe it's because it's Game of Thrones, and maybe it's because if they don't do it, then the game's going to be bad, like kind of boring. I mean, it already is, but everything's predictable. You know what's going to happen. Like there's you have to help Daenerys do something, right? And in return, she'll give you something else. But when you do it, she's like, "Oh, just kidding," and you're like, "Oh, I knew that was going to happen."
So she just teases you? What the hell?
Teases you. I mean, there's stuff that goes on during the mission that can like change her opinion. But if you make the right choices, she still gives you something in return, but it's not what you wanted. So now you have to go on another mission, another quest to use what she gave you to like help you do your thing. It's one of those bogus things. Like, okay, I see what's going to happen. This is going to happen all the time. Like you knew what was going to happen before. It's like they can't let you be all powerful, and do the right thing in the right order. No, there's got to be things in between to stop you.
That's very annoying.
Yeah, it's tough though because Game of Thrones is like that. Like no one ever in the history of Game of Thrones ever like set their mind to something, did it, and without any trouble. So I get that, but it seems like it's too. There's not enough characters to actually make it different. Like it's just like the person changes their opinion, or the person changes their mind, or the person's just giving you a fuck you.
Yeah, but Game of Thrones, you also have to remember, is a story and a TV show, right?
Yeah.
So, like, conflict and difficulty are things that are artistic in that sense. Like, and, they're like, this is what the characters have to deal with.
Yep.
In a video game, if you make everything a pain in the ass, then you've effectively made the game, like, you start squeezing the fun out of it. It's like an orange, and if you keep squeezing it, it starts running out of juice,
Well, I'm going to counter that with Dark Souls. That was another one that I played a little bit this week. And that game is very difficult at times. And you definitely want to, like, break shit. But you still continue playing because it's a challenge. There's a challenge there. Whereas in these Telltale games, it's not a challenge. It's just like, oh well. Too bad, guys. Fuck you. I know I said something earlier, but I'm changing my mind. It's like, okay. All right.
Well, I got to look up some good therapists for you since you're playing a Souls game, because you're going to need one.
Yep. But that's how it is. It's like they have ways to do it to make it interesting, but I think, and granted, I don't have any ideas, but I know there are some. There's got to be some. But it just seems too obvious what's going to happen. Like when you watch Game of Thrones, take for example the Red Wedding. I don't care if anyone hasn't watched it yet. It's like 5 seasons in. This was 2 seasons ago. Red Wedding. You're not expecting, like even the book readers, no one's expecting.
But Red is my favorite character. Don't spoil it.
But
He's always like, I'm coming, Elizabeth.
Are we talking about the same story?
I think you know the PTSD's in my head again, and I'm merging shows. Sorry,
but yeah, like you had no clue that was going to happen at the Red Wedding, and so you know it was shocking in both the show and the book. Whereas in Game of Thrones, Telltale series, in the first episode, towards the end, there's a situation that happens where you're like, oh, fuck, this is going to be good, right? Because shit happens. But then nothing ever, like, compares to that again. Nothing. And it's like, oh, god damn it. All right. Okay, guys. Like, you can't come out on top right away. Like, you need to save that shit for later. But it's whatever. I'll probably continue the story because I'm interested to see what happens, but it's pretty...
Well, as far along as you are, I mean...
Yeah.
It would be a bad time to stop.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Although you don't finish games, so maybe it's the perfect time to stop. I don't know.
No, the 6th episode came out, so it's complete now, so I might just have to complete it, you know. Like watching a series on Netflix, you know. Just power through. Just got to make all the episodes.
Oh, speaking of Netflix, I finally got around to the first episode of It's Always Sunny, season 10.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I didn't watch any of the others yet, but I watched that first one. Oh, my God.
What was the first one?
Chasing Boggs.
On the airplane.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So great, man.
They're ridiculous. I love that show.
That show just keeps getting better and better, man.
Yep.
Dude, fucking Mac, man. He is always trying to put, like, structure and rules to everything they do, man.
Everything. And like, this season, they kind of hint a lot on the whole gay thing. It's him being gay. It's him being super religious and anti-science. And you're just like, every episode, there's something on there where he does that. Or... It's kind of like, I feel like it's switching from like Charlie being the incredibly dumb one to Mac just being just all out stupid. And it's great. I love it.
Yeah, Mac is functional stupid.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. Just, oh man.
Like they'll have conversations where it'll just be Charlie and Mac, and Charlie always comes out on top being the smarter one.
Yeah.
Oh,
I still don't understand why Danny DeVito is doing that show. It's just the stuff he's doing is nuts, man.
And he's actually respected. That's the funny part about it. Like he's not like I saw an interview with him, and he's actually a incredibly smart dude, very respected by people. And you see him in the show, you're like, I don't get it. Why did you do this, man?
He's a nut, man.
Perfect for it. I can't imagine that show without him. Like I watched the first season, and I'm like, oh, it works. It still worked without him. But just adding him just added that perfect dynamic. It was perfect.
Yeah. So I'm hoping to watch more of that. That is just it's so great to have some episodes of that to push through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was that. I know there was something else I was. Oh, okay. Here we go. This is the big debate we got to have, and you got to tell me where you stand on this.
All right.
So I'm watching NFL's top 10. All right.
All right.
They're doing top 10 Super Bowl plays. Okay.
Okay.
So they have number 1, David Tyree helmet catch.
Of course.
Number 2 is Malcolm Butler interception.
All right.
So
Patriots are in all of them.
No, they're in a couple. What was it? The Vinatieri kick was in one when they beat the Rams. I think that was the only other one they were in.
Really? Why was that one? The kick? Maybe the drive. Maybe that's why they did it. That drive was nice.
Because they were saying it was like the kick that launched the dynasty.
Okay.
I was like,
yeah,
maybe. it's weird that like that one was really strange to me because it was like the better kick was the one he made against the Raiders when the season was actually on the line. Like missed the kick, season over.
Yep.
You know, and it was in the snow and wind and it was nasty. Like the one against the Rams was like, I don't know. But they did say some interesting things, some of the guys they had talking about. Like one was saying that we were kind of naive back then and it was a feel-good story and everybody was like, yeah, the Patriots won, huge underdog, they're the Patriots, 9/11 just happened. Like I
was definitely on that bandwagon.
Yeah. And then they were like, you know, now they're the evil empire we can't get out from under, you know. So
isn't that how Germany started?
Yeah.
With Hitler? Like, oh, he's going to help rebuild Germany. Yeah. Oh, fuck this guy. God damn it.
Oh, man. You know what, though? I thought about that one a little more, and I thought there was something interesting about it in that it shifted the balance of power in the NFL.
Yeah.
Because the Rams, right, were going to be the dynasty if they won that game. Because they were going to be 2 out of 3, the high-octane offense, you know.
Fucking Marshall Faulk.
Yeah. Like, if the Rams win that game, do they go on and continue to be great? Like, because I always wonder if that loss kind of hung on them because, like, they were huge favorites in that game, like 14, 17 points or something.
That's a good point. Yeah, because the Patriots did the whole, like, we're going to come out as a team thing. Like,
yes.
Yeah, you're thinking, like, the Rams are going to be, like, the top team. They were the top team. They were the favorite team, but the way
all the coverage all weekend going into that game was just about the Rams' coronation as, you know, dynasty champs. And, oh, look out the Patriots, them plucky little devils. They made it into the Super Bowl. How cute. Like, thanks for playing, you know.
Yep.
And so it is interesting to think, like, what does happen if Vinatieri misses that kick? They go to overtime and the Rams win, you know, like.
I think Kurt Warner would still be on the team. Marshall Faulk retired, was it 2 seasons after?
Did I say to Brady, like, hey, thanks, kid, but Drew Bledsoe's the quarterback. That was a nice little run you were on, though.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Because it's one thing when you win the Super Bowl, and it's another when you got hot and got there, you know, but didn't win, you know. Those are 2 totally different evaluations by, you know, your team.
I wonder, man.
Anyway, we didn't even get to the important part yet.
Yeah, go ahead. That's an interesting thing, though.
Is the helmet catch more important or a better play than the Malcolm Butler interception?
All right. So let's look at it this way. The helmet catch was the last-minute drive, right? That wasn't a 4th down play?
No.
I think
that was actually one play after Asante Samuel dropped the game-winning interception.
I think what's more, the helmet catch is nice. Like, yeah, okay, he caught it on his helmet and he kept control. What's more amazing is Manning's like scrambling on that play. But is it?
Yes, that was pretty good. And to be honest, if that's a regular season game, that play's blown dead to protect the quarterback.
Yep. I think I like the Malcolm Butler catch more. Granted, this is when I hated the Patriots the most, was during that game. But I think his catch was more. That was like when everyone realized Belichick's actually a really good coach. Because he wasn't a starting corner. Butler at that point was not a starting corner. He was like, what, 2nd or 3rd?
I said in the episode he was 5th on the depth chart.
5th?
Yeah.
That tells you, like, he was prepared for that play. He knew what was going to happen. He knew how to step up for that. They had great corners jamming the receivers so he can make that play. I mean, and it actually, like, sealed the deal. Like, if they got that touchdown, that was game, right?
Oh, yeah, because there was like 20-something seconds left.
Yep, that was game if the Seahawks got that touchdown.
Oh, yeah, that's over. I mean, it's weird. I think it depends on how you name your list, right? Because you say most important, plays in Super Bowl history, then it's probably the helmet catch because it stopped the team that was going to go undefeated.
Yep.
You know, it stopped the team that was going to get their 4th championship in 7 years, 6 years, yeah. So, you know, it changes so much of the NFL's history. But if your list is best plays,
that was definitely the Butler play.
Then I think it's the Butler play because that's just a beautifully executed play to fight through, what's basically a pick or a rub play, depending on which side of the ball you view it from, And the fact that he holds on to it after colliding with Lockett, it's really it's just such a well-executed defensive play. And the Tyree helmet catch is just it's a fluky play. It's luck,
Oh, dude.
Like David Tyree had no career before that and no career after that, it's just one of them things that just happened, So I think it just depends on how you're calling it. And because they called it best plays in Super Bowl history, I feel like the Butler one is more important.
Yeah.
Plus, because the helmet catch happened, Butler's play was huge because it got Brady to 4th ring, which he didn't really need, but it really is important to the argument because a lot of people would just never care.
No, that's not true. I think even with 3 rings, people would still care. Is there a quarterback with more?
Well, Bradshaw and Montana both have 4.
Okay.
Aikman is the only other one with 3.
Okay.
Yeah. I would have contended that Brady's the best with 3 just because of what he had to work with and the era he did it in, with free agency and whatnot.
We saw what he could do with a talented receiver, right? With Randy Moss, when he goes 50 touchdowns. It's fucking ridiculous.
It was insane.
Then we see what he does with shit receivers. Like the 2014, they had some decent.
David Patton, Deion Branch, Troy Brown.
Yeah.
None of them are going to the Hall of Fame.
No, but I've always liked Deion Branch. I thought he was a solid receiver.
Yeah, good player, definitely. Although he didn't look like much when he got away from Brady, did he?
Nope.
Pair him up with Timmy Hasselbeck, and he looked pretty pedestrian.
Man. Yeah, I want to say the Malcolm Butler catch should be – because it was best plays. Yeah, it should definitely be number 1.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, too, because that's just a well-executed play.
Mm-hmm.
I'd give you a slight rundown. Some of the others, the Elway helicopter. That was so great, man.
I don't know how he held on.
It was so useless too. It got him a yard that they didn't even need. It just showed you how bad he wanted to win, though.
Yep.
What else was on there? The Riggins touchdown run against the Dolphins, that was on there. They had 2 from the Steelers-Cardinals Super Bowl, 2 from the same game.
Hold on, let me guess. Was it the last-minute Fitzgerald catch?
Nope.
And then wasn't?
Nope.
Oh man, was it the last? What's his name? The Big Ben too. I can't remember who the receiver was. It might have been Hines Ward.
Santonio Holmes.
Santonio Holmes
had 3 catches, I think, on that drive.
That last one, was a beautiful pass.
Dude, they were showing replays of that. I don't think he got both feet in.
Really?
I'm looking at it right now. They didn't show all the views, and I'm trying to remember the Super Bowl, and it's so many years ago now. I can't really remember, but it looks like he gets the 1 foot down, and the other foot is on top of his other foot, so it never touched. The toes don't touch the ground because it's his 2 feet are together, and the one touches, and he falls out of bounds.
Interesting.
There might be a better angle where you see the second foot touch before it slides on top of the other one or something, but they didn't show that today.
And they don't review things back then.
I think they did. I thought I remembered there being a big review for that, but maybe not. You're talking all the way back in 2008?
Yeah, so, they didn't have they didn't have the rule where they automatically did it. But I wonder if
it was inside of 2 minutes, so back then they still did have that. I'm pretty sure that was reviewed. But if they call it a touchdown and you can't really see it for sure, I mean, you know the old rule.
I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah, definitely.
Here we go. Put it up on here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is a shit quality.
Yeah, man.
God, that catch pissed me off so much.
You're not going to be able to see with this, I don't think. What is this? Somebody with a camera in front of their television?
That's what it looks like. What? Boom. It looks like his toe was.
You got to see it from the opposite angle. That angle's deceiving. Because this is where you can't see that. It looks like the one foot's on top of the other.
It does, but it also looks like when the one foot lifts up, the other one stays down. So the one in front stays down.
I don't know.
It's the blob of white.
See if they show that. See, the opposite angle is the one. Yeah, they're not going to show it in this video, Chris.
How did he do that, though?
Oh, amazing. Trust me. Yeah.
That's ridiculous, man.
I still don't know how Ben got that in there.
Dude, he throws some ridiculous passes, and he's had some good receivers to do that. But that's ridiculous. Oh, man. I'm surprised that last, the Kurt Warner, I think it was Fitzgerald, the one right before that, the drive right before that, where everyone was like, oh, yeah, the Cardinals clearly won this game. Fucking big. God damn it, man. That game pissed me off.
Yeah, you know what was funny? I remember, through, the third quarter of that game, me and my younger brother were so bored of it that we actually just were, dicking around on the computer watching videos on YouTube instead of actually watching the game because it, got so boring.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, in the fourth quarter, it was oh, my God, the game is alive.
Wasn't the Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl was just like that, though? It wasn't all that great until the last, fourth quarter.
No, it was exciting in bits and pieces, but there were a lot of down periods where the defense was in charge. It reminded me a lot of the Panthers-Patriots Super Bowl from 2003, because that was a game that had dry spells and then explosiveness.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Panthers, they are the only team in the NFC South to go 2 times to the Super Bowl. Everyone else has gone once.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. And I think are they the only? No, I take that back. Never mind. But I think the Falcons are the only one that hasn't won one. Which that was another Super Bowl I enjoyed. The Broncos-Falcons.
Broncos-Falcons. You enjoyed that one?
Oh, I did. I enjoyed it specifically.
That one was over before halftime.
Dude, at the end of the game.
I know why. Because the Falcons beat your Vikings, and then you got to watch them get destroyed in the Super Bowl.
Hold on. They weren't my Vikings, all right? Been an Eagles fan forever. But it did hurt a little. It did. It stung. But just watching them go and run down the field doing the Dirty Bird was like...
Yeah, remember that back when you could do celebrations and stuff?
It wasn't even like an end zone thing. They ran around the whole field. They laughed the field and just did... I was like, this is perfect. I love this. You got something cooking up?
Yeah, I'm just taking care of a little something over here. I figured you were looking for that Santonio Holmes in HD or something.
No, I didn't even start looking for it. That was... fuck that.
Okay.
Oh, here's another one. When it wants to play.
If it's HD, it might just be taking longer to load.
That could be it. I don't know.
Okay. You know this YouTube app hates us, man.
It does for whatever reason.
I don't know. I mean, I talked about its mom once, but like I was drunk, so it really. I apologized. The app's being an asshole and holding it against me.
I hate the fact that I actually was going to side with the Patriots for the the best play in Super Bowl history.
I'll say this, man. Outside of '85, when they get in a Super Bowl, it's a pretty good game.
Usually, the end of the game is usually a good game. Like that's when the Patriots really start kicking it in. Like if they're behind or if it's a close game, that's when it really starts. And I think a lot of Super Bowls have been that way. Unless
the parody era finally caught up right around like the very end of the '90s, like with the Broncos-Packers Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that's like the first one I remember being competitive, and then there was that bad Falcons one, but it really, for the most part, after that, started to be competitive most years.
The Ravens game.
You had the Rams-Titans.
Of course.
And that tackle was the number 3 play, I think.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And that's a beautiful play. That's a great tackle. Like,
I don't know if that should be above the Butler interception. Because that stop, that was a beautiful stop. That was inches. Like the Butler,
I'll tell you why I would put the Butler ahead. Because, and I know this probably sounds actually reverse of the logic, but because there were more plays to be run in that game, had he not made that play, the odds of the Patriots winning was probably far lower.
I get
like
that.
If you ran the percentages, because Seattle was going to pass on that play and then probably run on the next 2.
Yeah, if it wasn't an interception, they would have just ran it. Yeah,
like if it's just incomplete, they're probably just going to give it to Lynch the next 2 because they have 1 timeout left after that. So their percentage chance to win was probably like 0.01 or something. Like the only way they could win was on a turnover or miraculously getting stopped 3 straight downs.
I get that.
Now, the Mike A. Jones tackle on Dyson, not as good because it was the last play. There was not going to be another play. So all you needed to do was get the 1 play stop. And they were, around the 15, I think? So
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood. So that's a harder call. Like Seattle's on the 1 with Marshawn Lynch and Russell Wilson. Like think about that. 1 play action bootleg and it's probably game over. Like, because who's going to outrun Russell Wilson to the corner?
And that dude knows how to dodge tackles, man. Like,
yes, he does. He's slippery, man. So, yeah, that's why I think I put the Butler play ahead, because that was the only way they could win that game, really. So.
All right.
It's close, though. I mean, if somebody wanted to go with the Jones tackle, I'm not going to really argue with you too much, because I love that play, too. Like, I mean, if you're just – especially because if you ever watched the design of that play, it was set up so that what was that tight end's name? Was it Wycheck?
I don't remember for the Titans. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was Frank Wycheck was running the post right to the end zone. Like he was just going like straight up the seam to the end zone. His job on that play was actually to pull Mike A. Jones towards the end zone with him. So and then Dyson cuts inside behind him, So the idea is he follows the deep threat who's headed to the end zone, and Dyson has the middle of the field to work. Well, Jones tricks McNair into making the throw because he turns and starts to go with Dyson and then peels off and heads right for Dyson and is in position to make the tackle because of that.
Damn.
Yeah. It's really good. If you ever see the NFL Films breakdown of it, it's great instincts by Jones to sniff it out and know what they were really trying to get there. And to think about it, it's the Super Bowl. The game is on the line, and there's a guy running to the end zone and another guy cutting across the middle. Like,
most people just freak the fuck out.
Yeah, you fall into the trap, and you're like, I'm covering the guy headed to the end zone. Like,
Yeah.
So,
damn.
Yeah. It's a superb play in its own right. You're listening to the Collective Gamescast, people, the internet's #1 sports podcast.
Well, you never said what kind of game, so it could be.
That's true. Football's a game, ain't it?
It's a game. It's a game.
That's what I always hear. It's a game. It's a kid's game. Everything's a fucking kid's game.
Yeah, according to Cam, that's why.
Russian roulette, not a kid's game. I don't know.
Man.
Maybe if you're a Russian kid, I don't know. I don't even know how I got that moniker attached to it. Why is it Russian roulette?
I've seen enough videos of Russians doing some crazy things.
That's not fair. They live in a cold place. Cold weather makes people crazy.
There's a video of this guy getting attacked by a boar, right? Now, in America, that guy
does he have a shirt on?
No, they all had shirts on. They all had shirts.
Okay,
and a
so
jacket.
it's not Putin.
No, hold on. This is the crazy part. This is like an apartment complex. This isn't like out in the middle of the wilderness. This is like an apartment complex, and this dude's getting charged by a boar. And so like 5 other dudes come over, one hops in the car, and they start coordinating this boar attack. Like this one dude's like the bait, and the other guy hops in the car and rams the boar, and the other dude gets out, takes a kitchen sink. Not like, oh, here's a bat. No, he somehow finds like a broken sink and starts slamming it on the boar's head. The shit was crazy, man. Like I can only imagine if that was here and a boar just like went crazy in like an apartment complex. People are dead. There's no one's going to survive that. No one's going to try to stop it. Everyone's like, fuck, and move out. Russians, nah, man. Take that thing head on. Coordinated.
People from cold places are just downright nasty mofos. Do not mess with people from cold weather places. For real. Because you got to be a little nuts upstairs when you live somewhere where it's cold all the time.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
And you got to be tough. Because weak sissies do not survive the cold. Oh.
It is the truth.
And Australians. Because anybody who wants to live on that fucking island where you are under constant predator pressure. Like
everything there is an apex predator.
Imagine this. You can take the movie Predator and just put the whole group in Australia and make the island the predator instead, and it totally works. Nothing changes except the dreadlocks. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't live there. Constant fear. Like, I see a house spider, I'm like, oh shit, house spider, right? But like their house spiders are like the size of you.
Like this. It's like a fist, man. It's like
it's a dinner plate that moves. Like, come on, man. Walk outside and there's like trapdoor spiders in there. Like, nah.
My buddy Jason sent me a photo before from his bathroom because he lives in Australia, and there was a spider on the wall, and he was like, oh, look at this little spider on my wall. And I was like, no, that's not a spider. That's a goddamn mount. Like, if this was Warcraft, you'd ride that motherfucker. Like, that thing's huge. Like, oh, dude.
Oh, man.
Scary.
Back home, my friend's house had a spider web right outside his back door. And we've seen it, it's been getting bigger and bigger. And then we finally saw the spider. We never used that door again. It was like, nope, not entering through that way. Boarded that up. I was like, we're only using the front door. If we're outside in the back, we're walking around. I don't care. I'm not. Fuck that spider, man. That thing was huge. God, monster. Man. And there are spiders here. The wolf spiders, like, they don't attack humans. They're hunting the rodents and big insects. But like, if I see one, I turn into a little girl. Probably shit my pants. Like, not dealing with that. Cannot live in Australia, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm a city boy, man. The outdoors are scary.
Can't do it. Oh, man. Say we get to the topic of the night?
You know what? Real quick before we get to the topic of the night, I'll just ask you this. What have you played this week?
Oh, Hearthstone. A little Final Fantasy.
Stoned, huh?
Yeah. Getting stoned. So Hearthstone, because that's easy to do. Like 30 minutes, you just pop that up real quick. Played a little Final Fantasy VIII. Got to
nice. Dude, one of these days we should do an episode on Final Fantasy VIII.
I think we should, man.
We did one on 7. It would make sense, right?
Yeah. And maybe we just go down the line.
Yeah, we'll do them all. We'll do 9. We'll do 10. We'll do 12. We'll double back to the beginning after that.
No 13, man.
No 11, no 13, no 14. No.
Oh, man.
Because 11 and 14 are supposed to properly be named Final Fantasy Online 1 and 2, not 11 and 14. It's a fucking travesty.
Oh, man. All right. So, Final Fantasy VIII. Hearthstone.
Where did you get done in Final Fantasy VIII? I'm just curious.
I got to the Galbadia, the war.
Oh, Galbadia.
Yeah, right when you get off the boat.
Okay.
Gone into
The mission in, what is that, in Dalit, I think?
Yeah. Is it Dalit?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm right there.
Well, back then we didn't have voice acting, so we didn't know what they thought. So we all pronounced shit different.
I hated that so much, man. Because it bugged me as a kid when my friends would just pronounce things. They're just all wrong, just adding letters. Like, I understand if you're trying to sound out the word. And then these people will just, like, add Z's and K's. Like, where did you get that from, man? Like, do you actually know how to read?
We're under attack from Galbadia Garden. Why? That sounds like work.
Put on here, man.
You're putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I've always hated that. I'm so glad we have voice acting now.
Yeah, it does help with shit like that.
Yep. Play a little Dark Souls.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that, yes. Yeah. I have not found a good therapist yet. I'll talk to Allie Fly. She probably knows one.
Yeah. And then Game of Thrones, Telltale.
Yes, and we did touch on that.
We talked about that.
Well, I finished Life is Strange.
All right.
And that game, I mean, I've mentioned before that the choices they make you make in that game are just absolutely gut-wrenching. Like, I mean, most of the time they give you a choice and it's like, God damn, no matter what I do, one of these sucks. Like there's no easy choice, you know? Some of them are a little easier, but the final choice they give you is the absolute worst. I was like seriously just paralyzed. Like I had no idea what I wanted to do there. So, and my wife was no help. She was like, I don't know. Like that like isn't there like everybody wins, everybody's happy kind of ending? And no.
That's awesome.
No, you got to make the tough call. There's also some weird shit in the final episode. Like, I think what they get at is like, you fucked with the timeline so much at this point that everything starts collapsing in around itself. So like they do like the obligatory like shit gets all trippy and fucked up, and like you had a sheet of acid strapped to your chest and got caught in the rain. You know,
damn.
Like, yeah. So there's a lot of weird stuff, but I think all they were really doing was trying to set up an opportunity for you to get a chance to retrace all your steps from the beginning of the game and all the key events that happened right before you had to make that final choice, so that like you wouldn't just be making it like, because if you had played them in the order of release, a lot of time had passed between when you played episode 1 and 5. By making you have to walk back down that path a little bit and see all those key moments.
Yep.
It makes sure you're fully informed for that last choice and reminds you of what important things have happened.
I get that.
It was a strange way to end up getting there because it felt a little long. Like by the end of it, I was kind of like, damn, is this episode over yet? Like, you know, like, so, but it ends pretty interestingly. It's pretty brief. Like, it's not like, you know, like curtains close, epilogue. Here's what happened. Like, it's very left for you to kind of decide what happens past the ending.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Which is interesting because it is kind of your story and your experience because of how many things change along the way. So I could see how it works.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was definitely a really good game, and it's got me wanting to play some more story-style games, but not Telltale.
Yeah, they got some work to do.
Also, high school kids just always works. Like, it's just that... It's that perfect timing, you know? Like, because, you know, they said something like to the effect that they wanted to create a blank slate character for the game.
Okay.
That's
that makes a lot of sense.
When you're kind of discovering yourself and,
yep,
you know, forming, like, who you want to be and what your opinions are and, you know. So.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it works. It's a setting that's very easy to fall back into. Like, oh, man, like, high school drama, you know. Yeah. Not in a bad way, like, oh, get me away from this. Like in the, you know, in the can I fix this? You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, yeah, that was good. You still got to play it. And other than that, it was just Phantasy Star Online this week. The obsession is real.
Every day at work, there was a new story from you, man.
I don't know what to say. A lot happened. When you get 80 levels in a weekend, you know a lot has happened.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I think I've ever played a game that I could get that high that quickly. Granted, the 3 times experience helps, but...
Well, remember, it was 5 last weekend, so...
The whole weekend?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, that was perfect for a snowstorm.
Yes, it was. That's exactly why it happened, too. Because there was no snowstorm, I don't think I would have got that much done. But with nothing else to do. Well, there was one other thing I did with the snowstorm, and it wasn't gaming. It was watched 3 more of the Harry Potter movies as we rewatched them. Yeah, so we did Chamber of Secrets, still my favorite. Prisoner of Azkaban, and Goblet of Fire.
I like 3 and 4 better.
They're darker.
Chamber of Secrets. That's why I like it.
I don't know. Maybe Azkaban's not darker. I don't know.
I'd say it's dark.
I don't know if it's darker than Chamber of Secrets, man. I don't know. It's a toss-up, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. All the stuff written in blood, all the people getting petrified.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Goblet of Fire kind of takes the cake for dark.
Oh God, yeah. Watching that and just knowing all the bad shit that was going to happen at the end just was really, like, difficult. And especially because my son didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that takes the cake as probably the worst of the movies.
You told me about this, and then I looked up because I didn't know who the cast was for that. I didn't realize it was Gary Oldman who played Sirius Black, right?
Okay.
So I was surprised at that. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that was definitely him. That dude plays so many different types of characters. It's crazy. True Romance was one that dude was amazing in that. Didn't even know it was him. And then I didn't realize Voldemort was Ralph Fiennes.
How could anybody recognize him?
Well, he has the same, like, besides the nose missing, like, I was like, oh, shit, that's him? Oh, God. Yeah, man, like, those 2 were the ones that just, like, hit me like, shit, I didn't even know that. I was a kid, so I didn't even know who these people were. But, like, now I'm like, damn, those are good casting choices. Damn good casting choices. Yeah. Thought I just... Little note, when you were telling me about it, I looked it up earlier this week.
I think the thing I find most interesting about those movies is how they pulled off all the scenes with Hagrid, you know?
Yeah! That was impressive.
Really good work there to make that all come together.
And the third one, the reason why I like the third one so much is the director for the third one, Alfonso.
Everybody hated him.
I don't know why. Well, I guess beforehand he did.
It has a very different feel than the other movies. You can clearly tell, you know.
what's his name? Alfonso Cuarón? I can't remember how.
I forget. Me and my wife were talking about this. And,
Yeah.
I think Goblet of Fire was somebody else too. It wasn't Chris Columbus.
I think they had a different one for all, like.
I thought Chris Columbus did the first two, and then
third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh were all different people.
Yeah, and I think that's why. Maybe that's why I like the second one so much. Then, is because it kind of kept that feel of the first movie, but this time they didn't have to waste any time on exposition, like to familiarize you with the world, you know. So it was just all story, all action, all things moving forward the whole movie, you know. Whereas the first one's good, but they had to spend a lot of time explaining everything to you and setting you up for the world, you know.
Yep. Yeah. The guy who directed it, I didn't know who he was beforehand, so I didn't have any opinion. But I saw movies afterwards, and the ones that really stick out. I don't know if you've seen Children of Men.
Of course not. I don't watch movies. You know this.
That's another good one. That's a damn good movie. And then E2 Mama Tommy In. You don't want to watch that with kids, but that's another good one. And then there was Gravity. Everyone knows Gravity, right?
I know of it. Haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. That's another good one. Yeah, but this dude's very good at direction. That's another reason why I like Prisoner. Damn good director, man. Damn good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was it. That was pretty much how I survived the blizzard. PSO, Harry Potter movies.
That's like 8 hours of movie watching. Too.
Yes, we watched 2 of them back to back.
Oh, jeez, man.
Yeah, that was Saturday, the day we were all just trapped inside the whole day.
Oh yeah,
we finished
sense.
one. What was it, Chamber of Secrets? We were just like, screw it. Want to watch Prisoner of Azkaban? Another 3 hours, you know? It's like, all right, more popcorn. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So on to games, right? We got a topic to get to. All right.
Yes.
So tonight's topic is the one that got away. So Chris, you only get to pick one game, and it's the one game that you wanted to play.
I have to pick one game?
No, I'm fucking with you.
Oh man. Let's go with all my stuff is more franchise stuff. So it's stuff that like the whole franchise that I missed out on. Or I played a little bit of it, wanted to play more, I never did.
So you're just trying to get all the sisters at once, huh?
Pretty much, man.
Bow chicka bow wow.
You gotta go all in.
There's a joke in there somewhere for that. All right. Give me something here, man.
All right. Let's start off with Max Payne. This was PlayStation 2 was the first one, right?
Yeah.
Another Rockstar game. So I played it. First time I played it was at a youth and government thing. So back in high school, they did this government thing where we go to the state capitol. We stay at a hotel for a weekend. We pretty much play like we're representatives and stuff for the state. So we make laws and all that. Go sit in the state capitol. We hold sessions and all that. It was a good fun time. But at night, they would have events for us to do, or we could just chill up in our rooms. And if anybody brought the game systems, we could play whatever games we had there. And Max Payne was the one that people were playing. And I was like, man, this looks dark as fuck. It looks good and all that. And then this is where I decided not to play anymore. Was when it was like, oh yeah, man, if you play it on certain TVs, sometimes the Max Payne logo gets burned into your screen. And I was like, fuck, man.
Yeah, that was a real thing back in the day, too, unfortunately.
And I was like, shit, I can't do that. I don't have my own television, so I can't play it in like my own room. And be like, oh well, that's the family television. People will be pissed the fuck off if every time they turn on the TV they have that Max Payne logo. Forget playing video games ever again. Like that was the end of that. So yeah, so I didn't get to play it, and I wanted to, so I bought it on Steam, thinking like, yeah, this would be a good time to play Max Payne. Yeah, let's do that. So I got all 3 of them, and they're all sitting there uninstalled.
Oh man,
Never installed.
I played a lot of the first one, and I really liked it early, but it just started to lose its panache about halfway through, and I just never was interested in it anymore. It was cool too because it was at a time when controller layouts for shooting games were not really figured out yet for consoles, and I still stuck to shooters because it was before I got into widescreen, which seemed to be like the revelation point for me in shooting games.
Mm-hmm.
So bullet time was brilliant because it allowed me to use my tactical thinking that I use in a lot of role-playing games to be better at a shooting game.
Yep.
And yeah, it was really cool. I liked a lot of like the narrative, like how, I mean, whoever was writing it was really their word selection was really good, and the comic book style was really neat delivery system.
Yeah.
So
good they decided to make a crappy movie about it.
Yeah, I never really kept up with the series just because I was like, it's cool, it's got style, it just, I don't know, it couldn't keep its hooks in me. Can only play so many franchises, man.
That's very true. That's usually what I have here.
And then it all begins and ends with Phantasy Star Online. That's why the last letter is an O, because it's a circle, so it just comes back around.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's one of mine. Good old Max Payne.
That's a pretty good one, man. Yeah. And that's from the time when it looked like Rockstar was going to rule the world too, because they dropped Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yep.
Max Payne. State of Emergency was on the horizon before we knew it was a flaming pile of trash. And Vice City was on the horizon.
Yeah.
So it was like, Jesus, like, you know, Rockstar is clearly going to, like, take over. And they kind of have, but not the way it looked like they were going to back then.
What they're doing is they're releasing...
Table tennis.
I forgot about that.
Everybody forgets about Rockstar Games table tennis, man.
They're the one developer that I know I can count on to have a complete game. Like, when I start the game, I'm not going to be worried about, like, there's glitches, this isn't finished. No, like, I played Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5 recently, right? Great. I have no issue with them. And I got 5 when it came out for Xbox. Had no issue whatsoever throughout the whole game. I'm like, this is... I don't think I've played a game that was this well made. Like, there's maybe some camera issues or whatever, but, like, the voice acting works, the character models work. They fixed the running from 5 to 4, like, and then going from 4 to 5, like, they're consistent. That's probably one of the most consistent developers you're gonna have right now. Maybe someone can come up with another one, but that's what I think. Oh, I feel like you're looking up a.
No, no, I'm not. Sorry.
I'm rebuttal. This is my counterpoint here.
Nope. No rebuttal. Just had to send something off here. My apologies, sir.
You're good. Good.
Okay, well, here. How about I start you off with a little something. The one that got away from me, and it's always going to bother me, and I don't think I'm ever going to fix it, is Baldur's Gate.
Yes.
I didn't have a PC back then.
Okay.
By the time I got a PC, Diablo 2 was out. And that was the void my life fell into for a while. By the time I thought about maybe going back to Baldur's Gate, there were too many other things. It was always something. Something else was always there. Mm-hmm. And then it got to the point where it was so old and so archaic and so like difficult to deal with the install and all because of the old school style. Like, I think what's the first one? Like 7 or 8 CDs, I think.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh God.
And it's just like, no, I can't do it. Like, but I always want to because I'm like, I love Dungeons and Dragons. I love BioWare. These games are always talked about and revered in such a way, but I'm like, I need the HD remasters.
I think
And I need a way to
Dark
play it
Alliance-
faster than like 80 to 120 hours because that's just. I know I did that for Fallout and Metal Gear, but I can't be doing that all the time.
I think was it Dark Alliance? Was that the PlayStation 2 one?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the
Yes.
only one I played.
I read in a review and found it to be true that it should have been called Bladder's Gate because that game kept you wanting to play.
That's the only one I played, and it was a friend's game, so I would go and play with him. This was like years after the release. I played this freshman year in college. Like that's what we would do. Like we go to classes, we come back, and then we just like play a few hours of Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember the funniest thing I remember about Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is that I stripped my character down naked and I'm jumping around and trying to jump in the bar, like the shop/bar that you start in.
Yeah.
And my dwarf is going, I can't do that here, you know? And my father-in-law to this day quotes that. Like, he thinks it's the funniest shit. Like, you know? Like, yeah, of course you can. You need to put clothes on, man. Like, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was good. I like the sequel to that, too. Dark Alliance 2.
Didn't even get to play it.
Yeah, it's a typical sequel. They tightened some things up, and the story wasn't quite as good.
Seems to be the trend.
Usually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but man, it's always sitting out there. And they finally released them for Steam like 2, maybe 3 years ago now.
Yeah. Yep.
And they're just sitting in my Steam wish list, and it's just like, man, one day when I break my leg or something and I can't get up and move around or do anything, you know, Baldur's Gate.
There you go.
I don't know. Maybe one day we'll get an HD remaster of them or something, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I would assume they would do something like that, but I don't know. It's BioWare. They're what? They're now owned by EA, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're an EA company now. So.
Yeah, I don't think they're ever going to do any remasters of anything.
I don't think EA wants to do remasters of anything, which I don't get because they're like, well, do you want us to do that or make new games? And it's like, why don't you do both? Like, I'm not saying take the BioWare team and make them redo the old Mass Effects.
Yeah.
Like, I'm saying have them work on Andromeda and have a freaking porting studio do the remaster. Like, there's tons and tons of studios out there who can do that kind of work. Get one of them to do it.
That's another thing. I'm surprised that companies don't just buy. Like, can we just, buy the smaller porting studios?
It might be a move you see happen in the near future with the fact that HD re-releases are becoming more prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these, like, especially the bigger ones, like, like Ubisoft and Activision, and maybe even like Sony or Microsoft will just be like, hey, we just need to get like one or two of these guys under our own roof, just constantly moving old shit and bringing it back,
Mm-hmm.
So you might see that in the next few years if this HD re-release stuff keeps up.
Yeah.
And hey, if we get good re-releases out of it, I'm down.
I'm down for that too.
If we get shitty ones, I'm going to burn stuff. Don't ask me what stuff. I just thought of that on the fly.
Burn the games, maybe?
No, because then I have to buy them, and that is money back in their wallet. It's kind of counterproductive.
Oh, man. Yeah, Baldur's Gate, that's a good one. That's a really good one. I got another franchise that I bought. Played a little of the first one and the third one. It's weird, I know. But it was BioShock.
So you played the first one and the third one?
I played a little bit of the first one, and then I played a little bit of the third one. And yeah, that was weird. I only played the third one because like Reddit was like busting all types of loads for it. So I was like, oh, let me check out BioShock Infinite, Let's see what it's like. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this right now so we can get to the chase because this is important to me too. I played the first one, beat the shit out of it.
Okay.
Played the second one, beat the shit out of it. Have not even played the third one, and I have it.
Why not?
I have it in my Steam library, and I have it on my PlayStation 3, and I have not played it.
What's the reason?
Always playing something else. Same reason I don't get to every other thing.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. The other thing is Infinite, I don't know. You can tell me. It just didn't do it for me the way BioShock did.
Infinite changed everything, really. It changed the whole artwork. It changed.
Yeah. Like, Columbia just doesn't
game.
seem like an interesting setting to me at all.
I liked it. I liked the setting from the beginning. I didn't get too far into it. But yeah, I liked the gameplay. I liked the way it looked. I liked the way the controls are great too. I don't know. I just never it didn't grab me to the point of me finishing it. But I still I'm looking at it, I'm like, I really wanted to play that game, and I still kind of want to play it. But at the same time, it's like I don't really want to start another game.
Do you remember what took you away from it?
I don't know. I think I was busy around that time. This was last year. As I was working, I was working catering. So I'd work 5 days a week, and then I'd go to New York on the weekends and do stuff there. So I really didn't have much time to do that. And then at that time, this other job I had doing IT stuff, I was busy trying to fix the computers that the last guy fucked up. So there really wasn't much time, but I would play a little bit here, a little bit there, and then I just kind of stopped thinking about the game in general. There's certain points in games, I don't know if this happens to you, but if you stop at that point, it's a lull in the story or something, you don't feel like you need to get back because you didn't stop at a point where you're going to think about it's not a plot changing area. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I follow you.
And so I stopped just maybe in the middle of a mission that wasn't really imperative to the story, but it was there. And I just kind of didn't think about it and never started it up again. And then Infinite, I just want to see what it was like from everyone's reviews. And it was nice, but I just never continued it. Yeah.
Okay.
I still want to, but that's starting another game.
Yeah. Here's an interesting one, and you can tell me if this. Oh, hold on, we can't leave BioShock yet. Sorry, man, I forgot that I wanted to say this, but I asked the other question first. You have to play and finish the first one.
Okay.
Most people that I have listened to and talked to say that the best two games from last generation that pretty much rise above everything else are BioShock and The Last of Us.
Really?
So, yeah, to not finish BioShock, and it's got one of the best twists. One of the best.
Huh.
Yeah. And I never saw it coming. But it's great. Because once it hit, I was like, oh my God, it was there the whole time, and I never caught it. It was beautiful. It's just such a great game. Even if you don't play 2 or Infinite, I would say you got to finish the first one.
Got to play the first.
2 is just more of the same, really. It's a little more fun because you get to play as the Big Daddy.
Yeah.
So, in the first one, right, you equip a weapon on one hand, and you have your whatever the hell plasmids, yeah, on the other. But so I got my pistol out and I'm shooting. Now I want to use plasmid. I got to hit the button. My guy switches. Then I got to hit the button again.
Yep.
You know. In 2, since you're the Big Daddy, it's just weapons on one trigger, plasmids on the other. Let's rock. Much more convenient.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it definitely just at some point finish that first one, and it's not the longest game either. So it's not a Baldur's Gate situation where you got to figure out where you're going to get 100 hours of free time. You know, you could do it in a reasonable amount of time.
All right.
Yeah.
It's still on my list.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so here's one for me, and you tell me if this is a bit of a cop-out or not, but it matters to me And I just, I was a big Star Wars: The Old Republic fan.
Oh boy. Yep.
Well, here's the thing. I played all 4 of the Empire stories.
Okay.
Right? They're beefy. There's a lot of time in there. Yes. I never finished any of the Republic stories. Most especially the Jedi Knight story, which was the original concept story for Knights of the Old Republic 3 before they decided to just do an MMO.
Why didn't you finish it?
Because being the good guy is not as interesting.
Well, they did make that in that game. They made the bad guys a lot more interesting.
There's more compelling drama and backstabbing, and you can't trust anybody. And
yeah,
the good guy's just like, oh my god, this is the worst thing that's ever happened. Go fix it. And then you get back, and it's like, no, fuck that. This is the worst thing that's ever happened. Go fix that. And you get back, and it's like, that was nothing. This is the worst thing that's ever happened. Go fix that.
Yeah.
And it gets very old very quickly.
I get that. It's still a cop-out.
Is it? I feel like it got away from me. Like, I'm not going to go back to that game now and do it. Like, it's just going to forever be left hanging.
Yeah.
So, it bothers me, especially not doing the 1.
I've never finished any of them, though, so I can't really say much.
Yeah, they take a while, especially that first one.
Yep.
Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe I can get back to that one day.
Yeah, see, that's something you can always get back to, because that's all free now. So it's not like you have to pay for a subscription or do anything. You just play throughout all the character stories, all the class stories, and be good. That's still a lot of time. That's a lot of time.
Yeah. If I wanted to do all 4, it's especially a lot. Although I am about halfway through all of them.
You just take like lulls when you have lulls in games. There's not much. Just like take a few, just peck at it. Just peck out a few missions here, peck out a few there. It'll be all right.
Yeah, wait for like them 12x XP events.
There you go.
Just bang out the story real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, what else you got?
Hitman. The whole Hitman series. Never played them. Bought them on the Steam sale because it came in a collection. I played a little bit of Absolution. Just the first mission of Absolution. And something about that, the story just seems odd. Like it's typical. You got your assassin, he has a heart, so he has to help save people. And now his agency is now after him. So it's like, okay, that's cool. But I don't know. I couldn't get into that game, but I've always wanted to play the Hitman games. I thought they were a pretty cool concept. And I never felt an urgency to play the game.
Like, oh man, I gotta play Hitman.
Yeah, like people tell me about it. I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll do it. And then when I finally get it, I just didn't sit down and play it. And I still want to. I still want to play it with the good ones. I don't want to play
You know what? Tell me if you believe in this, because I could be crazy, because we know I'm fucking weird in the head because my mom dropped me a lot. Luckily, I'm light, so there wasn't a lot of gravitational force on the back end.
I don't think that's how that works.
Dude, gravity is totally based on mass. Hello.
Just gonna...
Anyway. So, here's the thing that always bothers me with Hitman, right? I always get this feeling, and I've never played any of them, so I can be 100% wrong here.
Okay.
That it's basically a dude bro shooter wearing a tux or a suit,
Well, it's got an espionage.
Like, I always get this feeling it's just like, here's an excuse to murder people. Like,
no, see, you can't just go up and murder people, you got to go through, like, I know in Absolution there's like, you got to...
No. Is it Hitman's Creed? I can't just murder whoever I want?
I would say it's more on the lines of like the Splinter Cell games and maybe Metal Gear the espionage concept. Not much of Metal Gear story, but it's
nothing is Metal Gear story. Let's just
it's very tactical. Like you have to go in. You may have to go take this guy. The people react to you. You can use different costumes to like get people to like not notice you as you're walking through. It's got a lot of that. So it's not just like running guns blazing. It's more you're a hitman. You can't let people know that you're doing this. Like the guy can know you're about to kill him because who the fuck cares? He's dead now. But for the most part, you don't want to kill everyone in the building. And I know in Absolution, there's the like if you just keep killing people, you lose points. There's a certain amount of points you get per mission, and if you just go around just like killing the innocent people, like you're in a mansion, and there's a chef who's just like chopping up his food. You don't need to kill him. Why would you kill that guy? You need to murder that poor dude. If you do, you lose points. If you don't, then it's good. But if you can get around, like he'll still notice you and alert other people to you, but you don't have to kill him. You can like knock him out, even steal his costume or whatever. But I mean, definitely not a bro shooter in a tux.
Okay, because that was always the sense I got from it. But like, I've never like watched any Let's Plays or any like video footage of it because it's just like.
Are there Let's Plays of Hitman?
Probably. There's Let's Plays of like fucking everything.
I
was on Twitch the other day to evidence my point, and as I'm scrolling through the games of like what people are playing right now, a Barbie game was up there. Now, I didn't go in to look further into who's playing them because I already knew. I was like, there's either a little girl who really likes the Barbie games and wants to play them and wants to be modern and do Let's Plays, or it's some dude who's being a sarcastic jackass.
Yep.
And it's like, that's my thing.
Oh, man. Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So the other thing is too, and you can tell me how true this is or not, but there's a lot of fear for me to start a new series at this point.
Well, the good thing for you, Square is really bad at making complete series. So the Hitman series has like two, I want to say, from what I've read, has like two games that are
you counting the one that's about to come out?
No.
Or no? Okay.
No, I'm not counting that one. I'm counting Absolution and I want to say the first or second one were like the games that people like. The rest of them were all just like, meh, nah. So, excuse me. So it's like, if you were to start that, you would only have to pick and choose. Like, you pick which ones you want to play. I wouldn't say play all of them.
And that's not really what I was getting at, though. It's that I'm so deep into so many series at this point, like that there's always something coming out I want to play.
Ah,
you know, so like the thought of jumping into another series is just like, where am I going to find time to fit it in?
That's true.
So like anymore, I'm just not interested in getting into a new series.
And this one really isn't. This one really isn't like the others, like other game series. I want to say, because it's so much hit and miss. You know, from what I've heard, I've only played a little bit of Absolution and a little bit of the first one. From what I heard, though, it's you play the ones that are good, and you don't even worry about the other ones. And they're quick. They're not, like you said, they're not long games. You could do them in 20 hours or so. But just to get through the story most of the time. I would say if you started that, it wouldn't be as daunting as if you know, like, I got to get to the Metal Gear series. I'm gonna start with the first one. Like,
oh dear God!
It's not like that. No.
Yeah.
You know?
That would be, my God, that would be daunting at this point to try to jump in now. Especially, oh God, can you imagine if you went back to like the NES ones too?
Oh God,
that would be
never
so
ending,
bad.
man. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah, no.
That's dedication.
Yeah, you know what? You can do that if you're like between the ages of like 13 and 20.
Or unemployed. collecting them sweet unemployment checks, and I'm just gonna sit at home. I'm gonna pretend to apply for some jobs, and
Hey, man.
you get 2 years, man. You get 2 years of unemployment. Play yourself some Metal Gear.
Okay, man. That's how you want to do it. Don't let me stop you. Okay, so I got a interesting one here, and it's got a strange caveat to it. One that got away from me, and I've tried to fix this in the past too. Is are you familiar with Maniac Mansion?
You told me about it.
Okay.
You and your sister used to play a lot. It was great.
Yeah. Great game. Clunky and archaic as hell by today's standards. And like even trying to go back and play recently is really tough. But so much fun. Such great music. There was a sequel to it called Day of the Tentacle. Never got a chance to play it. Managed to get my hands on it at one point on the PC, but the way it was set up with the audio stuff was so ancient that I could not get it. Like I did not put the work in to get it to work properly.
Interesting.
Yeah. So what makes this an interesting one though is that even though it got away, that they're re-releasing it later this year.
Really?
For the PS4, I think. Maybe the PC as well. Yeah. So like my shot at redemption is
coming up. It's coming up, man.
And it's like I don't know if it's as good as Maniac Mansion. I don't know if the music's the same style and as good, but that world is like weird and crazy. And I don't know. The tentacles were funny characters in Maniac Mansion, so.
Huh.
Like the one tentacle was just all into rock music. And like one of the ways you could beat the mansion was to like start a band with him.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
that's
like,
a little crazy.
Yes.
With the tentacle.
Yes. Yeah, with the tentacle. Yeah. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, but so I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait for that to happen because I want to get a chance to do that. I hope with this remake of it that they're doing that they get rid of some of the super clunky point and click adventure style stuff.
Yeah.
I know that's like classic and retro and people love it, but I'm like, there's no need for that much clunk in your interface. Like you can make that game and it can still be brilliant without having to make it a hindrance to try to play it.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Interesting. I got another one. Metal Gear Rising.
Oh.
Did you ever play it?
No, didn't really care.
Oh man.
I was like, this is I think I would have been happier if it would have been like Raiden Gear Rising. Like I was actually just mad they put the Metal Gear name on it. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they had to. That was the selling point.
Yeah, I know. That was actually the point that made me not buy it. I was like, I know what you're doing here. Like, you're not tricking me.
Oh man. Yeah, that game got me so hyped in the beginning. Like I saw videos from it. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be beautiful. The play is Raiden. You get the oh man, I was really, really excited about it. But then I never got it. For whatever reason. I don't know. I just like it came out and it was just like a bloop out of my memory, right? Then I want to say it was last year. Last year they had a sale, right? Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, and then Metal Gear Rising. And I was like, oh, okay, the new Metal Gear, the Metal Gear 5's out. All right, $30. Oh shit! All right, let me get that. So I got them both. I was like, you know what? I'm more into the Metal Gear Solid, so I'm gonna play Ground Zeroes first. I played Ground Zeroes. I didn't know it was just like a $30 demo. And I played all the way through that, realized it was at the end, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? That's it? And I never went back to Rising. Like, I just like, fuck this. I was not happy about it. Like, I thought the game was beautiful. I thought it was great. And then Rising was there. I have it. It's sitting there. And I never went back to it. I think it was just like that bad taste in my mouth. Like, fuck you guys. Fuck you, Konami, for coming out with this fucking expensive ass demo. Like, shit. I don't want to play this anymore. I'm done. And it's still on my list of games to play because it's still, like, whenever I see videos of it, it looks amazing. Like, it's just nice, nonstop action. You get the precision strikes, and I'm just like, I'll get back to it one day. One day I'll get to it.
Yeah, it's funny that I loved the shit out of Metal Gear Solid 5 and did not like Ground Zeroes one bit.
Because it was too closed, I'm guessing.
I think that was part of it, yeah. It felt very much like an Optimal Path game.
Yep.
You know?
But, I mean, what they should have told us beforehand was that, yes, this is one mission, and yes, you have this map, but there's different ways to solve it, different ways to go about doing it. And once you finish, then you can do that same map, but with different types of missions. And then what you unlock or what you get in that, you can use in Phantom Pain. I would have been more like...
Well, you do get all the bonus soldiers and stuff based on what you do in Ground Zeroes. So, I mean, there's something there.
But they didn't tell you in the beginning.
True.
When it came out, they didn't tell you. So I just assumed, like, that was it. Like, I just wasted, whatever, like an hour of my time playing Ground Zeroes, thinking that it was going to be, like, the actual 5th game.
Yeah. It's funny thinking back on that, too, because Ground Zeroes killed my enthusiasm for Metal Gear. And if it hadn't been for all the good press leading up to Metal Gear Solid 5,
yes,
and hearing people talk about it the way they did, I would probably have not played it.
Yep. I am 100% with that.
That time of year, maybe my curiosity would have got the best of me and I would have got it anyway, just because there wasn't a lot out right in that window, because that was still a couple weeks before Mario Maker came out. So maybe I still would have got it. But it was when I heard people talking about it and talking about the things you could do in it, I was like, wait, that sounds like something I do want to play.
It took one 40-minute video, man.
Yeah, that E3 video was really, really important, because once I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, this is not like Ground Zeroes. Like,
not at all.
This is like Ground Zeroes functionally, but design-wise, it's not. Yeah. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. Ground Zeroes, always sitting there, always saying, hey, come play with me, Malgadar, and I'm just like, no.
There's no point for it now. There's no
point. Well, and now it's even harder, because it's like I've seen the better version of the product.
Yeah, exactly. Why would you even play that? Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, so I got this one's a 2-pack.
Uh-oh.
Because it's for the same reason. So, I love my Final Fantasy games.
Yep.
I love my tactical RPGs,
yes,
strategy RPGs. It's turn-based, none of that real-time bullshit. Yeah. So, there's 2 games, Valkyria Chronicles and XCOM.
Oh, XCOM.
Now, both of these are interesting games in that I missed both of them, right? Didn't know that either of them were turn-based strategy games.
I had no clue XCOM was. I didn't know Valkyria Chronicles was either.
I just found that out recently, listening to another podcast. They were talking about it. And I was like, wait, that's a strategy RPG? I would have so been in. Yeah. Totally missed both of them. And those types of games are, like, so up my alley. Like, I'm always bitching and nobody's making them games anymore. And here it is me just not knowing they're out there.
Well, before you finish this, if you have $15 and don't mind playing on PC, Humble Bundle has XCOM, all the It's a Fire Axis bundle. So you get like XCOM, you get some Civilization games. I think you get Civilization Beyond Earth. And then you get XCOM, I think Enemy Within, and the first one for like $15 if you want to do that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
At some point, I do want to get together with that game.
The second one's
especially
out.
XCOM, because there's a sequel. I don't know what's going on with Valkyria Chronicles. I got to look into that some more to see.
Something was coming out with Valkyria Chronicles. Either that or I just saw it was on sale. I can't remember. Yeah, I think they're either making another one or... Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, but either way, those are... I don't know. You know me, I'm always looking for a strategy RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Although I especially like the older ones that I can just carry around on my phone. They're good, stuck somewhere games. And they don't require, deft, timing movements, so they work really good on a phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently they're making a fourth one for the PS4, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you should be good with that. Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. Both games I got to look into more and see if maybe I can't salvage that, but I'm upset that I let those get away from me because I just wasn't paying enough attention.
I didn't even know about...
not like I was busy with other stuff, like some of the games on my list, these were ones that got away because I just wasn't paying enough attention to what was going on.
I think you would like XCOM a lot because it's a strategy game, but it also has base building similar to how Metal Gear was.
Build a base.
Yeah, and the new one has a lot more customization to that. But XCOM is another one that I need to play.
Yeah. All right, Chris, you want to take us home with one more?
No, I think that's it.
No?
There's probably more, but that's what I got on my list.
Well, we'll save it for the other one that got away. Episode 69. Oh, man. All right. All right, well, you know what? Let's get out of here, man. We've been rambling for a while. I'm going to lose my voice.
All right.
So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, you know where to find us. YouTube, Friday nights, 10 p.m. We do this live. Can't find us on YouTube. Just do the little search Collective Gamescast. Same goes for iTunes, Stitcher, all your other little podcast services. You can check out the website, collectivegc.com. We host a podcast over there. And, maybe I'll write something stupid on there one day just to see if you're paying attention. You follow us all on Twitter. You can follow the show at the Collective GC. I am at the Malgadar, Malgadar. It's right there on the monitor. You should be able to spell it by now. Chris is at ChrisBCGC. And that's it. I'm fed up with this. We're done. Later.